Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's event or presentation. We're in the month of June, and I thought I would give some time to considering the family. Last week, we talked about mama. Today, we want to focus on men. And given the fact that this coming Sunday is Father's Day, I'm hoping that there will be many men on the call. And I also hope that there are many visitors invited by people in the family. My name is Dr. Ese Zanambasi, medical doctor by training. I'm very passionate about what we stand for. And today I would like to call to action all men. So you see, we all agree, and we say it in principle, that prevention is better than cure. But do we understand what we mean when we say that? So this evening, I would like to encourage men to have a different perspective on a lot of things, and I hope what we share will make a lot of sense. You know, men have an interesting role and a very important role in society, in that they have to balance a lot of aspects of their lives. But as they grow older, at about the age of 40, men begin to observe changes in their body, in their psychology, in their perhaps family approaches and work situations, things that they wish would not happen. They wish they could stay young forever. And that is when there is a tendency for them to not believe what might be happening to their body. And so they go into a state of denial. And eventually, it becomes easy for them to be convinced that perhaps their high blood pressure or their high cholesterol should be medicated. Then they start on a journey of chronic medication. Now, for those of you who might already be on chronic medication, please listen up that you can change lifestyle and hopefully become healthier. It's best to start as soon as possible. So I hope all of you are ready for the journey. I'll start by talking about examples of chronic lifestyle diseases, and cardiovascular diseases are far and away the most common reason that people fall quite sick and chronically so. Then we have chronic respiratory diseases. We have diabetes, cancer, and neurological disorders, degenerative and neurological disorders, an example being dementia. But for men in particular, prostate disorders should never be forgotten, okay? And those can start initially as acute or chronic infections, and then later there's problems with the stream, and then later still, unfortunately, prostate cancer is becoming quite a challenge, isn't it? So we need to also remember ED, which stands for erectile dysfunction. As they grow older, as men become older, there are multiple causes such as stressful work situations, family dynamics, and situations that are causing this problem. But it is a cause of a lot of distress. And one thing to always remember, it is closely associated with cardiovascular disorders, which we have seen are the commonest reason for chronic ill health. So in a nutshell, those are the main concerns: weight gain, loss of muscle mass, loss of libido, and low energy levels. And at that age, then they start wondering, hey, what can get me fixed and functioning properly? But we need to always remember that the main reasons that these challenges arise are mainly poor lifestyle choices, such as what we have today, convenience and fast foods, sitting for long periods of time in offices and cars, and maybe if one drives trucks or cars or whatever, they sit a long time, and therefore there's very little time left over for exercise. And then working from home has become very fashionable. And so not only from home, but even in industry and offices, exposure to toxins and also increased reliance on technology. We are seeing that more and more people are exposed to blue light, and therefore quality of sleep has deteriorated quite remarkably. Now, you know, as men grow older, as our dear male folk, be they husbands or fathers, become older, the assumption for a long time has been that it is as a result of declining testosterone. That is the dominant male hormone. That may be so. That may be so. So in true fashion, we want to fix that problem. And so a lot of hormone formulations have been given to try and correct that. But we want us to look at it from another perspective. Then we are battling with another hormone that has become very rampant in our environments, and that is estrogen, or xenoestrogen specifically. So that even men are becoming quite estrogen dominant, and that can be a challenge. And I've put the pictures up just so that you get a visual of what it is that estrogen dominance results in. So we should be concerned. Now, when we have a long-range vision, as in this family called Near Life, we are encouraged to have, we can see things like, hey, there will be dangers of external or synthetic hormones. And those are examples of signs and symptoms when people accede to being given things from the outside or absorb a lot of xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens are estrogen-like compounds that can have quite severe effects on our hormones, and they are found in day-to-day usage items. Okay, so dangers of external, synthetic, or xenoestrogen hormones. Worsening sleep apnea. A lot of people suffer from that, but it seems to be getting worse. Acne and other skin disorders. We might see gentlemen with enlarging breasts, shrinking testes. They might be increased risk of blood clots, and that could be the reason we see a rise after the age of 40 of things like strokes and heart attacks. And then, of course, the prostate may grow abnormally, may become enlarged. So we should be concerned, and we should also start thinking what we can do about it as society, as family, and how we can work together on it. So I thought we should take a few steps back, and maybe just a step back to the formation of testosterone, the male hormone that is assumed to be deficient as men grow older. Okay, so cholesterol is made into a biochemical product called pregnenolone, which then produces progesterone. Progesterone is a very important hormone. I want you to remember it. And through various pathways, it can be developed into testosterone and into estrogens and other things like cortisol and other hormones like aldosterone. So focus on progesterone because it is what I have called in this slide the mother hormone. And it is very important. Progesterone is important for pregnancy and for ensuring that that happens. In other words, for the next generation to come along, we need a good supply and a good formation of progesterone. So it is important because progesterone protects against the undesirable effects of unopposed estrogens, even xenoestrogens. So what am I saying? I'm saying that it is quite likely that a lot of us, men and women, are suffering from hormonal imbalances, key of which is progesterone deficiency. And so the effects of that is what we see with a lot of people developing symptoms. And there's a list over there. I won't necessarily go through them, but things like a lot of water and sodium into the cells causing high blood pressure. So if you're wondering, hey, why are so many people being diagnosed with high blood pressure? It could be because of this hormonal imbalance. And then also opposing thyroid action. Then we ask ourselves, why are so many people being told that their thyroids are not working? Okay. Promoting blood clotting, thickening bile, leading to gallbladder disease. And if over and above that, there are challenges with the diet, then there will be a lot of problems overall. So I believe it's time to introspect. Gentlemen, I'm sorry to have to do this to you, to ask that we introspect when it is almost Father's Day on Sunday. But I have a question. What has led to this? What has led to this? You know, like testosterone, cholesterol levels can be measured. So the very fact that it can be quantified, it is possible to track it and say, okay, maybe that is the problem. All right. So cholesterol is made by cells throughout the body, particularly in the liver. And it is made from a substance derived by the breakdown of sugars and fats called acetate. Then when we eat too many refined sugar, too many starches and fat that is hydrogenated or saturated fats, that is too much for what our body actually needs. Coupled with deficiencies of fiber, vitamins, minerals, and a lack of exercise, there will be more of the wrong types of cholesterol. All right. And then that can be measured and it can be medicated. And then there is stress. Stress can be a challenge, and we just need to be aware of it all the time, that stress is a challenge. So I'm just going to ask why Rabarita has her hand up. Can you hear me? Can somebody give an indication of whether you can hear me? Okay, I'll carry on because otherwise we carry on for too long. Right, so exercise. I'm going to keep stressing exercise because it is important in controlling a lot of how men's health turns out. Good, thank you. Right, so we belong to a family called Near Life, and it is the world's leading, and we are making it to be #1 in health and wellness, and it has amazing nutrition products because they're all whole food based. And so for the visitors, welcome. We want to share with you what we are excited about. Now, we have what we call the wellness triangle, which is going to be explained to you shortly. But I have a question. Has modern lifestyle set us up for failure to observe the wellness triangle? And you'll see why, because the wellness triangle clearly states that at the base of that triangle has to be physical activity and weight management. So we want to get serious with ending the trend of poor health. We want to start with the diet and to be reminded that you are what you eat, and the reality is that 75% of all chronic diseases can be prevented. So for the visitors, this is for you to know that all of us aspire, hopefully, to live a nice long life and to be in 100% health. When we are born, generally that is the expectation. However, a lot of children these days are being born with poor health as well. The reality is that we quickly slip into the tired zones, the tired and sick zones, and we lose out on a lot of life because we are maintained for a long time in a very suboptimal state, living in the tired or the sick zone. We don't want that, and I just want to introduce you to this group of scientists that make up the Scientific Advisory Board of Neolife. It was founded by the founder member, Dr. Arthur First. He was a top pharmacologist, toxicologist, and cancer researcher. He came to Neolife a few years after Neolife had been established. Neolife began in 1958. He came in the 70s, and in the mid-70s started the Scientific Advisory Board, whose scientists you see there. And their ethic has always been and remains, whatever they give to us is based in nature and it is backed by science. And that's why we have one of our values, value number 3, products that work. These products surely work because they are based in nature and backed by science. And what they have taught us is that all nutrition should be at a cellular level. These are diagrams of cells. So that is the whole cell, and inside the cell you have structures called the mitochondria, which are responsible for producing energy in that cell. So the other thing that they have taught us, and I hope for all of us in the family, we are very clear on this, that there is news to share with everybody that we can prevent diseases by weight management, physical activity, and a diet that is rich in whole food nutrients, which we are going to show you how to bridge the gaps in our current diets. So the ideal triangle should be like that. As I said, physical activity at the bottom with weight management. Then we should be eating whole grains. However, at the turn of the last century, food processing began, and it became necessary to strip out of grain those oils that would otherwise make the grain go rancid quickly. And the idea was to be able to have the grain products on the shelf for a long time, to have a long shelf life. So today, in today's economy, hardly anybody eats whole grains unless they are doing something about it, which is called supplementation. Then we're supposed to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. We're supposed to eat some protein, not too much that it comes out of our ears, okay? We should eat enough. There's actually a way of estimating how much. And then we should have some fats and sugar as well. And the fats and sugars have to be the right types of fats and sugars, not highly processed or hydrogenated and synthetic. But real life shows that the typical lifestyle pyramid is that we hardly do any physical activity. We are gaining too much weight. We are eating very few whole grains because they are very difficult to come by. And we are eating way too many fats and sugars, and perhaps too many proteins that have been reared in not very optimal conditions altogether. So the net result is that our cells, which are supposed to be healthy, if there were whole grains that would create a healthy cell membrane, quickly become unhealthy because those whole grains are not there, resulting in no nutrients going into the cell and no toxins going out of the cell. And so that is what we are wanting to share and to address. We have a product that I might as well introduce now, which is called TRINN, and it feeds the cells, thereby enhancing energy. Remember, I said that the mitochondria are inside the cells. They need to be able to create that energy with the right ingredients. And then it also improves the way the cells utilize energy and nutrients, rather, the way the cells utilize nutrients. So this is what we are excited about. And I just want to keep emphasizing that, yes, diet and exercise are so important. Books have been written about them. You've seen that a lot of modern day people are looking more and more like they could use some advice, and that is what we share. We might say, okay, I'm going to eat all the natural foods, granted, but if those grain oils that I'm so emphasizing are not available, you need to look at supplementation. So let us focus on solutions and see the results, including that very vexing issue for men as they grow older of becoming more and more unhealthy. We want you to please share TRINN and to make it central in your household. We're going to tell you what else, because you will have more energy and vitality. You will have a stronger immune system. You will get better hormonal balance. You will find that your heart health will improve dramatically. And for the little ones in the house, there will be better school performance. You will have improved relationships within your families and your community. Hopefully, we can get everybody to dream of a vision and to have a vision of a brighter future. And as a result of that, there will be less craving for the wrong foods, okay? That is so important because a lot of men, when stress comes, and women, but I'm focusing on men today, when stress comes, they might turn to alcohol. And then, of course, the issue that I talked about of improved libido. So we want to introduce the concept of supplementation and to also say that Neolife has made it so possible and easy for us. And when we exercise and we are very intentional about it, we have to remember that our muscles that we all need to maintain are made up of amino acids, as are the rest of us, and we need to supply those amino acids. And so that's why I'm showing you this picture, to show you the importance of all 22 amino acids, which are otherwise very difficult to get. But thanks to the family that we belong to, we have formulations. We have the shakes, and we have this sports performance shake, protein shake, that will ensure good quality muscles. And then we have the need for fresh foods. I showed you that beautiful picture of fresh food. You should be eating as much of normal foods as possible. These supplements are to close that gap. And the health of the entire body depends on adequate supply of the right nutrients that we are agreed on. There is something called nitric oxide, which is derived from a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables. It is very important for cardiovascular health, for the health of your heart and blood vessels. And that is what can maintain male sexual function and health if there is a good supply of nitric oxide. So all I'm saying is that eat well, eat as comfortably as you can manage, but if there's a need to fill in those gaps, which there is, you should do so. Then I want to introduce some supplements that are non-negotiable for men. Omega-3 is one of them. Our omega-3 in this company is complete, and that is the Neolife difference. It's the only salmon oil plus that delivers all the 8 principal omega-3 fatty acids that are involved in human nutrition. That is so significant. And then it has a broad spectrum. It brings down inflammation, very, very important. And so for men, I have a question for you. Are you prepared to invest in your health and really be very, very intentional? Because I believe if that happens, we all will be healthy. So that is what the men should be on as non-negotiables. Salmon oil and zinc and the other things that I've showed you, which form the core nutrition. If you can invest in your health and invest in preventative maintenance of your health, you'll be doing very well, because zinc is important for prostate health. Then I wanted to point out, apart from maintaining good muscles with Amitone and the sports shake, I brought Amitone just so that I show you the label. It has specific amino acids to boost what is given in this shake. But the key here is that with all our products, there are no preservatives, no sugars, no starch, and therefore it is safe on your body and the formation of the right type of cholesterol and not the wrong type of cholesterol. Then there are other things that I just thought you should know about, such as the mineral magnesium, important for energy formation, blood sugar control, mitochondrial energy, blood vessels, and heart health. So as you get to know that it is important for you to choose to prevent and to maintain your health, you will hear more and more that there has been a lot of research in the fact that inflammation is a killer. And now I just want to give you another slant to inflammation, which is, what are you cleaning yourself and your house with? And so, gentlemen, I want you to take more interest in what your clothes are washed with, because it might impact your health. Right, so let us talk about lifestyle modifications that also are important. Gentlemen and ladies, we have to make a decision to stop smoking and excessive drinking of alcohol, eat a healthy, balanced diet, reduce weight and maintain ideal body mass index, resolve to exercise, resolve to manage stress. And I hear some people asking, but how do we do that if finances are always a challenge? Well, that's what you're looking at this opportunity for, so that you can hear at another sitting how you can make it pay you and pay you well. And then choose to supplement. And I'll tell you, we have shown time and again that the food we are eating, the ordinary food, has either deficiencies or the soil on which that food is grown has a lot of deficiencies. And then we can beat stress. You know, I'm just showing you all these so that you get an idea of the richness of what we are offering. Yes, CalMag, very, very good for stress beating. Aloe vera, as well as masculine herbal in the places where it is available. So ladies and gentlemen, a stitch in time, the saying goes, saves 9 stitches. So if you start acting now, you will save a lot of trouble later. Prevention is better than cure. Regular checkup, go for regular checks. It will help you to pick up challenges early, but don't wait for those challenges before you take action, as we've shown you. And then balance and temperance in life. And you know, I was looking up what temperance means. One meaning is abstinence from alcoholic drinks, but the other fuller meaning is the quality of moderation or self-restraint. And it gives an example. And this is very interesting. And now that we are talking to men in particular, the whole multitude of men lack temperance in their lives, either through ignorance or from lack of self-control. That is something that can be corrected when you associate with our family that we have here. So we want to encourage us to have balance in our lives. And women respect men as the leaders in society. And we look to each other to support each other. But, you know, all of us have to create a vision for our society, starting with ourselves and our families around these areas, the 8 areas, the key areas: spiritual, mental, career, personal, financial, physical, family, and social. And I just want to say that's what our family offers us. So we are all working together to make the world healthier and happier. I believe that with healthier men, we will for sure have healthier, wealthier nations. So I'm going to stop here and open it up for discussion.